Hello everyone. Welcome to my first video in a while. But for those of you who don't know, I got an Apple Vision Pro the day it came out, an early adopter. And unlike most of the other people who bought one, I did not return it within the return window. I have had it and used it all but one day since, and this is the Apple Vision Pro I currently have. Now, there are some obvious differences, and we will talk about that. But first, a question a lot of you might have is why did I, an Android user, get an Apple Vision Pro? I've been an Android user the entire time I've had a cell phone. Currently, I'm going to be honest, I'll talk about it more in depth later, but Apple has gotten me. I am now a disgusting, awful Mac user, and this is my only non-Apple product left that I use regularly. You may ask why. Well, the main reason is because Android phones fold, and iPhones don't fold yet. But I'm going to be honest, once they do, they will probably have me. But I'm sticking with Android for that reason. Now, why did me, an Android and PC user, originally decide to get the Apple Vision Pro? Well, I will be honest, I fell for Apple's marketing. This was described by every single person who tried it as just a truly immersive and phenomenal experience, and I was desperate to try it. Now, of course, I can try it without buying it, but that was definitely one of the reasons. I mean, when you put this thing on for the first time, it is just an experience like no other. The trial you get with Apple's little thing is just some truly remarkable stuff. I don't think I've ever been as blown away as I was. But you've heard that from every single other content creator out there. Now, surprisingly, my experience with the Apple Vision Pro, despite not having an iPhone, there aren't really any integrations between the iPhone and the Apple Vision Pro. There are definitely integrations between the iPhone and my new MacBook that we'll get to, and my AirPods that I've had for a while, because unfortunately I wouldn't switch at this point, but I couldn't find any earbuds that are better. Apple does appear to make the best wireless earbuds on the market at this moment. But that was the reason I initially wanted the Apple Vision Pro. Now, once I got it and tried it out, I tried a whole bunch of things. Obviously, workflow was a huge one I was really excited for, gaming, and the main thing, watching content. Now, these days, all I do is watch content. I don't really play any games. I don't use it for work. In fact, I just did some homework right before I started recording this video, and I did it just on my laptop. I didn't bother to use my Apple Vision Pro for it, and there are a couple reasons for that. For one, it is slightly less comfortable to wear than wearing nothing. Actually, before I talk about, let's get into comfort for a start. So initially, I used the solo loop for less than the first day I had it, and then I switched to the dual loop, which is hiding somewhere in my room. Don't really know. I don't use it anymore, because as you can see, I have a dual solo loop band. I have a little adapter right here, this little gray thing, and it snaps on to both sides of the Apple Vision Pro, and you can connect an additional headband to it. Now, this vastly improved comfort for me. Like, without a doubt, I don't really have any comfort issues with it. If I'm sitting in a chair that doesn't have head support, it can get really tiring on my neck area, and that was a problem when the Stardew Valley 1.6 update came out, because I was just wearing my headset and playing Stardew Valley for 12 hours straight. So that was not my smartest decision, but especially if I'm just lying down in bed or on the couch or whatever, watching a movie, which I will get into, it is hugely comfortable. I don't have any issues with fatigue or anything else. I would highly recommend this setup if there are any Apple Vision Pro users watching. I will go ahead and throw a link in the description for this, just a link to the Etsy shop. I don't get anything out of it, but it is, you do need to spend the $100 to get a second one from Apple, but it is without a doubt worth it in my opinion. So comfort, it is really comfortable, but especially when I'm sitting in my chair at my desk, it does have some issues, and I just prefer to be just in the space and just doing homework or Excel balance sheet nonsense on my laptop rather than in the Apple Vision Pro. One of the main reasons I did quote for getting it to a lot of people I was talking to, who I was talking to about me getting this before I did, was Excel, and I'm going to be honest, it's not phenomenal. Where is it? I got a keyboard specifically for use of Excel with a nice number pad. I haven't used this since the first month, which, you know, kind of a shame. Wasted money, but oh well. I have my setup now with my MacBook, which I way prefer anytime I am using Excel. Now, let's get to MacBook. So, I have been a PC user my entire life. This is the my first introduction to a MacBook was, or a Mac was, my graphic design class, and I hated it. I did not like Mac. I didn't like how many differences there were between it and Windows. I was way more comfortable with Windows, and I am still probably significantly more comfortable with Windows operating it and using it. I've definitely gotten used to using the MacBook since I've had it for about 2 months now. But I don't think it's something I'll ever get used to. The reason I chose to get a MacBook is, this is going to sound insane, but gaming. It's because of the virtual display. I can connect my display into the Apple Vision Pro and have a really nice 4K display experience. It's great, and I love using it, and that's the reason. Just playing Stardew Valley, Minecraft, some really, you know, low games, because it doesn't run games the best, but that's the reason why I switched to a more expensive, objectively worse computer in place of my desktop PC. And so far, I haven't regretted it. I didn't really... I've kind of stopped playing games as much. I started playing Stardew Valley a lot more recently because of the update, but with the exception of that, I don't play games as much as I used to. I definitely don't play heavy games, so it's not like I was utilizing my PC for, you know, running Cyberpunk 2077 or anything like that. So yeah, I don't really regret the Switch. I mean, it was expensive to switch, obviously. MacBooks ain't cheap, especially the latest models. But overall, I think I've significantly enjoyed the experience with the Apple Vision Pro. Now, the reason I have used this every single day, with the exception of one, because I was on a road trip from 5 a.m. to 12 a.m., so not a lot of time for using this, is content. Watching stuff on Disney Plus, Apple TV, Max, HBO Max, whatever it's called, and YouTube via a third-party app called Juno, has been phenomenal. I mean, I do essentially have a gigantic wall-sized display I can use anytime, anywhere, and it is just fantastic. I cannot describe how amazing. The first movie I ever watched in this headset was Dune, in preparation for Dune Part 2, and especially with, I don't know what kind of magic they use in these things, but especially with my AirPods, it feels like I'm in a movie theater. The sound, the screen, the cinema environment, it's just... it's hard to describe. Like, it doesn't, like, the best way to describe it is a movie theater. I've only been to a movie theater once since I got this, and I was like, wow, this feels like I'm just wearing my Apple Vision Pro, except minus the feeling of, like, wearing it, because, you know, I don't have anything on, and I don't think I'll ever go to a movie theater again unless, you know, movie theater exclusive is the reason I went to see this specific movie. But yeah, I have absolutely loved watching content in this thing. It's the main thing I've enjoyed about it. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of Apple parts of this, starting at 256 gigabytes. While I haven't personally used all of them, is absurd for a $3,500 device. It's hard adjusting. I mean, Safari sucks, obviously. It's hard adjusting to a lot of parts of this headset, but overall, like I said, I've used it every single day, and if that isn't evidence that I've enjoyed using this as much as I thought I would, then I don't know what is. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say. There is. So one thing that I've seen is, a criticism I've seen is the FOV. Now, I personally haven't had any issues with it, but I did attempt to get this thing. It clips onto, so if I take off the light seal here, it clips onto this part of the headset, like, it clips onto this part of the headset like this. But, you know, you need to take off the sides of it, and it's a huge pain in the ass to put on, but it does increase FOV. I found it not super useful because it is a pain in the ass to take on and off, and for watching content, which is what I do a lot of, the light seal is definitely better. Haven't had any issues with it cracking or anything. Now, I'm sure the question a lot of you who have watched this far is, was it worth it? Was it worth I mean, by now, once you add in this extra band, the accessories have gotten probably over $4,000, not even counting the MacBook Apple got me to switch to. Is it worth it? Is it worth spending all of that money just for a VR headset? No. I did kind of willingly pay the early adopter tax. I think it's a fantastic device, and I do not think there is a better device for watching content out there right now. I mean, if you have millions of dollars to spend, perhaps an IMAX screen and sound system, but that's a tad bit too expensive for the value you get out of it. I think this is hands down the best device for watching content. Like, I just being able, like, if I'm sitting in my car while it's charging, I can pull up the same display I have at home. Or if I'm on a plane, I haven't been on a plane with this yet, but I could do it there too. And just the ability to do that is something that I don't think I will ever. It's phenomenal. Like, I can't describe how amazing the immersion level is for this headset watching content in it. Being able to watch any TV show, any movie, like I'm in a movie theater. I mean, that's that's the appeal of this headset. I don't think it's great enough for using for work or for playing games or for anything like that. One thing I kind of a side tangent, but when I got my Apple Vision Pro, the the Apple employee who was talking me through everything, asked what I was most excited to do, and I saw that there was a Fruit Ninja app, and I'm like, I would love to play Fruit Ninja and slice the fruit with my hands. It was terrible. It is one of the worst gaming experiences I have ever had. This thing is just not built for gaming. It kind of sucks. I would love, 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 love to play Beat Saber in it. I tried after maybe a month. I'm like, I want to play Beat Saber again, and I put on my Quest 2, and I couldn't tolerate. This is going to sound like the most like entitled thing I've ever said. I couldn't tolerate how low resolution the Quest 2 is. Perhaps Quest 3 would improve that, but I'm not going to spend $500 to play just Beat Saber when I have this at my disposal. So yeah, I will almost certainly continue to use this until the Apple Vision Pro 2 comes out, if it does. My understanding is that this has been kind of a success for Apple. It's made them about $1 billion, but obviously that's less than the R&D cost. So we'll see what Apple does with this. See, freaking Netflix creates an app with an environment in it. But yeah, those are my thoughts for my 3-month review. Like I said, well, I have enjoyed it. I don't think I could genuinely recommend anyone spend the money. It is cheaper to get now used. You can get them for like $2,500, which is just a casual 33% depreciation. Definitely not sad at all that I could have waited a couple months and gotten it for $1,000 less. But even then, I don't think I could genuinely recommend it. If there are any Apple Vision Pro users watching, I will, like I said, leave a link for this adapter in the description. I do think it is, without a doubt, the reason I enjoy using it as much as I do 3 months in. But yeah, those are my thoughts. That is my review, and I hope everyone has a great day. Bye!